Well, good morning, Dana. Happy Sunday morning. It's great to be here with you. Look, who's counting? But actually, I've won 5 races in Georgia. And so, listen, my race was tight. This race is going to be tight all the way to the end. And I think the important thing is that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz keep doing what they're doing, and that is to center the concerns of ordinary people. Here's the contrast that the people of Georgia have in front of them. They have one candidate who's focused on their needs, ensuring that we continue to lower the costs for folks on everyday goods, that one who has capped the costs of insulin and other prescription drugs, who passed a tax cut for middle and working class families, the expanded child tax credit, which we would like to see extended. She's focused on ordinary people. And then you've got Donald Trump, who's focused on himself. That's what this race is about. We'll continue to make the case until November 5th. And in the end, I think Georgians are going to get it right. They're going to support Kamala Harris just as they supported me. Listen, let me tell you something this morning. Black men are not going to vote for Donald Trump in any significant numbers. There'll be some. We're not a monolith. But as black folk in general and black men in particular consider who Donald Trump is, as they consider the fact that this is the man who literally took out a full page ad in the New York Times saying that these young teenagers back in the 1980s who were accused of a horrific crime should receive the death penalty. And then when it was proven that the exonerated five, the Central Park Five, were actually innocent, Donald Trump has shown no deal of concern about what they went through, no bit of contrition about it. He's doubled down on his position. This is who he is. And black men know that as they watch him deal with his own criminal problems and concerns, that the criminal justice system certainly doesn't handle them the way it handles him. On the other hand, you've got Kamala Harris, who in her work as a prosecutor found ways to give people a path towards a better life, who has spent her whole life as a lawyer, as a senator, and now as vice president, centering the concerns of ordinary people. Again, we're not a monolith, but this idea that large numbers of black men are going to vote for Donald Trump is not going to happen. Listen, it's important for folks to show up. And that's something that I push and preach every election, that your vote is your voice is your human dignity. Not to show up is a vote. Well, I've already told you what I think about that. I don't think that there'll be significant numbers of black men showing up for Donald Trump. And I think as we push through the election, it's important to continue to help people to understand the work that we have done, capping the cost of prescription drugs. We've done some $170 billion in student debt relief that's helped some 5 million Americans. Donald Trump wants to end that. And so the question is, do you want your grandmother to continue to receive $35 insulin, or do you not? And the stark contrast in this race is what it is. We'll continue to make the case. And again, I believe that Georgians are going to show up for Kamala Harris the same way they showed up for me. Listen, I have a great deal of respect for President Obama, and he wasn't talking to all black men. He was talking to men who are talking about sitting on the sidelines. We've got to talk to everybody because our coalition is broad. But at the end of the day, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are doing the work that every candidate has to do. You've got to earn people's vote. And so that's the work that they're doing in a moment like this. When you present a program which eliminates the amount of student debt that we've seen happen, this closes the racial wealth gap. When you address the importance of historically black colleges and universities, we've invested some $16 billion in HBCUs. As a proud graduate of Morehouse College, and we have College Sunday later this morning, I know firsthand the work that this administration is doing. And I think that we've got to continue to deliver that message to the voters. And in the end, I think that folks will recognize how much is really at stake in this moment, and that the choice really is not between voting and not voting. Not to vote is a vote. It pushes Donald Trump that much closer to the White House, and that's something that we cannot afford to happen.